welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Kim Anderson. I am Kim Anderson. I'm really excited to have you here to practice yoga with me today. Before we get started, I just want to mention that it's really key, whether you're a beginner or you've actually been practicing already for quite some time, that I will guide you through some movements, but really you need to listen to what your body's telling you. And if at any point it feels like it's too much or something's just a little bit not accessible to you in that moment, then you take a step back and you take a pause, you take a child's pose. You know when you need to do that. And so definitely don't feel like you're, failing, or you've got to push through, or, push through at all costs, because that's actually how we end up injuring ourselves. So the exact same practice that you do today might be fully accessible, and then tomorrow it's just not quite there. So it changes, and it's really important to allow that to be, accepting the fact that things are going to change from day to day. So with that said, we will get started in a seated position. So I'm ready to go. Make your way to the mat and get into a seated position with your legs crossed, and keep in mind that you can always sit yourself up on a block or a cushion, and that you might find that is a little more comfortable for you. Start to raise your spine up tall. Just let your hands rest comfortably on your knees, and allow your eyes to begin to close, your face to relax. And we're going to come into some deeper breathing. So we're trying to bring our breath in and out using only our nose, if that's possible. So keeping your mouth gently closed, but key word is gently, no clenching of your jaw. So try to separate the top part of your teeth from the bottom part, and allow your tongue to just lay lazily in the middle. And try to slowly melt away any expression in your face. Try to keep things nice and neutral. Begin to feel the heaviness in the bottom part of your body. So your legs getting heavy, your butt getting heavy into the mat. But at the same time, feeling that lightness in your heart, your chest, the crown of your head, that are all rising up toward the ceiling. And try to focus just on your breathing, but nice and easy, without overthinking it. And then start to notice where your breath goes. As you're inhaling and you're feeling your lungs expand, feeling your chest expand, and perhaps starting to feel your belly expanding. And then as you exhale everything out, try to notice if your body wants to slump a little bit, to cave in, and try to keep it nice and tall. Note that you'll need to activate your core to do this. And perhaps bring a little activation into your feet, a little bit of awareness as you push the sides of your feet into the mat. Now gently bring your hands onto your sides and scoot them up. So your palms are resting on the side part of your rib cage, and your forefingers are forward, and your thumbs are toward the back part of your ribs. So it's almost like you're trying to squeeze yourself with your hands. And with your hands staying nice and loose and gentle, begin to inhale and try to feel that the air is expanding equally under all parts of your fingers and hands. And then gently exhale out of your nose. And it's almost as though your hands are softly pushing the air out. And again, inhaling into your nose, nice and deep. Feel the expansion underneath your hands. And we're trying to Inhale and bring this into our body at all angles at the same time. And then again, exhaling out. It's like you're deflating your body with your hands, but don't lose that height in your spine, that length. And then one more time, inhaling, 360-degree inhale. So in all parts of your chest, your side body, feel that expansion. And then exhaling everything out. Gently begin to open your eyes, and we're going to continue breathing in and out through our nose, but begin to lift your hands up to the sky, gently gazing up toward your thumbs. And then on an exhale, let your right hand drop to the side and begin to lift your left hand up and over your body as you softly bend your right arm. Let the left side of your butt be nice and heavy into the mat. So you're trying to glue that side of your body down, and then lengthen your left hand away from the left side of your bottom. Inhale to come back up and find some length. And then exhaling, bringing your left hand down and starting to let your right hand drop over your body, but lifting your right side body up as the right side of your bottom pushes into the mat. Your jaw is nice and relaxed. Inhale, come back to the center. And we're going to go one more time to each side. Exhale, right hand down, feeling that length in your left side body. And you'll feel the contraction in your right side body too. Try to make it really pronounced. Inhale, using your core to lift yourself up. And then exhale to the other side. Inhale, come back to center. And then exhale, roll over onto hands and knees to come into tabletop. And check your alignment, looking to see that your wrists are directly below your shoulders, your knees are directly below your hips, and you can lengthen out your feet for the moment. Push the tops of your feet strongly into the mat. And from here, we'll do a couple of cat-cow. So activating hands in the direction of your knees, knees in the direction of your hands. So you already feel a lot of action in your abdomen when you do that. Start to drop your belly button as you pull your heart forward. It's like you're trying to widen your butt back. Lengthen your throat, look forward. And then on an exhale, start to round your spine. Drop your gaze between your knees and really stretch into your back body. Again, inhaling, your belly drops down, looking forward, trying to lengthen your spine. So still feel that activation of your hands. They're magnetizing toward your knees. And then on an exhale, pushing everything out as you round your spine, draw your belly button in, nice and strong. And then inhaling back to center, walk your hands back and sit your butt on your heels and bring your spine up nice and tall. With your hands on your thighs, take a nice deep inhale into your nose. And out of your mouth, exhale everything out. Inhale, lift both hands up to the sky. And then exhale, let your right fingertips drop to the side. And from here, just like we did when we were seated, start to draw your left hand over to the right. So you're getting into your left side body again. But this time, we're going to add in some cat-cow here. So pushing your heart forward as you're lengthening your side body. And then exhaling, starting to round forward. Inhale, opening up your heart, looking up. And then exhale, rounding forward. And just feel into this movement throughout your left side body. One more time, exhaling forward. Inhale to come back to center, and then exhale, going over to the left, drawing our right hand over and to the left, feeling that space you're creating in your right side body, and from here, inhaling, pushing your heart forward, drawing your shoulders back, exhaling, rounding your upper back. Inhaling, you can look up. That's going to help with the opening in your chest. Exhale to round forward. And one more time, all the while continuing to pull the right hand toward the left. And exhale forward. Inhale, back to the center, both of your hands. And then exhale, walk yourself forward. Once you have your hands forward, tuck your toes at the same time. And we're gonna lift our knees and gently shift our hips up into downward facing dog. So finding the right spot, finding your sweet spot here, with feet hips distance apart, hands shoulder distance apart, and keep your knees softly bent, especially in the beginning. You don't wanna hyperextend anything or exaggerate, but you can start to pedal it out with your legs, maybe get a little bit of wiggling into your hips. And start to even get into your elbows, shoulders. Make sure your neck doesn't have any tension. Move your head around a little bit. Just trying to get into all those little spaces. And then coming back to the center. Planting your hands firmly, planting your feet firmly. Bend your knees a little bit. Inhale. As you inhale, try to draw that inhale up and shooting out of your tailbone as it lifts up toward the ceiling. And then on an exhale, pushing your hands forward, your feet back. Start to lengthen the back of your legs, dropping your heels toward the mat. And just try to feel really solid and stable. From here, begin to push the weight a little bit more into your right foot. Begin to lengthen your left leg up. Keep a soft bend in your right knee and stack your left hip over your right hip, bending your left leg if you feel like that is okay right now. You can look under your right armpit. You might see your left foot. Try to pull your left knee up toward the ceiling, pushing into your hands. Get some space. Inhaling. And then on an exhale, bring your folded left leg underneath your heart and gently place left foot down next to left hand. Sink yourself down onto your right knee. And if you need to take a few steps, that's perfectly fine as well. Now, with activated legs, so you're pulling your right knee forward, pulling your left heel back, come into low lunge. Inhaling, lifting your hands up. And then on an exhale, begin to open your arms in a T and rotate toward the left, but keeping that lift in your chest, the crown of your head making its way up toward the ceiling. Keep pulling your right hip forward. Begin to gently place your left hand toward your right calf, and if it doesn't quite get there, then you can just stay upright with your arms open in the twist. Otherwise, reversing, lifting right hand up and toward the back of the mat as you gently touch your left fingertips to your right calf. Inhale, coming forward. Bring your right hand underneath your right shoulder and lift your left hand up to the sky. Exhale, bring your left hand down to the mat. And then shift your hips back, lifting your left toes and extending your left leg. But keep a soft bend in your knee. So you're looking to get the length more by pushing into your left heel and pulling your left hip back, more than trying to just jam your leg straight, which is never a good idea anyway. Pulling your hands toward you, pull your heart forward and lengthen through your spine. Soft jaw. Trying to keep the expression neutral on your face. And then inhale, coming forward again, bending into your left knee. Right hand below your right shoulder. And again, twisting, but this time, if you'd like to try, lift your right knee off the mat. And now activate your legs using your feet. So you're still pulling your left heel back, but now instead of your right knee, you're pulling your right toes forward. Lengthening the crown of your head forward, try to close the space between your shoulder blades. lifting your left hand up to the sky and trying to push your heart a little bit forward. Exhale, bring your left hand down on the inside of your left foot. Turn your right foot until you rotate on to your heel. So your right heel is down. Now you can keep your hands below your shoulders here. We're going into side lunge. Your heel can stay up and you keep your hands on the ground. But if you have space and it's comfortable, keeping a soft bend in your right knee and dragging your right heel toward you, you can begin to, with your left hand on the ground, lift your right hand up to the sky for a bit of a twist. Relax your jaw. Exhale, right hand comes down. We're going to lift the hips to come back into high lunge, but from here, shift your right foot forward 45-degree angle, a little bit closer, and begin to lengthen your left leg. From here, bring your hands to your hips, and we're going to come up to standing. Now, hips are square, soft bend in both of your legs, and again, if you need to still bring your right foot forward a little bit more, that's fine. We're going to bring our hands behind our back, either in two fists that touch each other, or you can grab your hands to your elbows. If you'd like, you can also come into prayer behind your back, but I recommend doing this only if your palms can stay closed, so really pushing them together. And from here, inhale, keeping your hips squared, start to lift your heart up, get some space, some length in your spine. Pull your shoulders back to open up the chest area. And then on an exhale, pushing firmly into both feet, lengthen your spine, gazing forward, way beyond your mat. And then you can slowly start to drape yourself over your left leg to the amount that you want. Try to keep your face soft, keep pulling left hip back, right hip forward. And then inhale, lifting up halfway, bend your left knee a little bit, open your arms up, and come into airplane. So lifting your right leg behind you, gazing at a fixed spot on the ground to help with your balance. If you wobble, that's fine. If you fall, that's fine. Just come back when you can. Try to lengthen heart forward. And then on an inhale, bending your left knee, start to draw your right knee, bending it and pulling it up and in front of you. Exhale, crossing your right leg over your left, and then crossing right arm under left arm, eagle arms, and trying to lower your hips, push your elbows in front of you, and relax your face. This is not easy at all. So just stay with the shakes, the trembles, the falling, the stumbling. Just allow those things to be. Inhale, open everything up, arms up, right leg out in front of you, bent, and then exhale, both feet down on the ground, much better. Inhale, coming up onto your toes and trying to reach the ceiling with your fingertips. Exhale, softly and slowly come down onto your heels, pushing your bum back, open up your arms like a cactus, and then start to extend them out so you can dive yourself down and bring your hands below your shoulders. Inhale, lift yourself up halfway, and then from here, begin to widen your feet. So maybe more or less the width of your mat. Toes are out and heels are in here, going into Malasana. Squatting down, and again, you can keep your hands on the mat. Your arms become like two pillars that are kind of holding you up. You might want to put a block underneath your heels here, if that is more easeful for you. And otherwise, if you're comfortable with your heels down on the ground, begin to lift your hands, coming into prayer, lengthen your spine, and if you would like, you can begin to tickle your right fingertips to the ground outside of your right foot with your arm on the inside of your right leg. And inhale to rotate and lift your left hand up to the sky. And then inhale, come back to center. And then begin to bring your left fingertips to the left and rotating, bringing your right hand up to the sky. Lengthening up. You can use your left arm as leverage, pushing on the inside of your left knee. And then exhale back down. With your hands on the ground, start to lift your hips up, parallel your feet. Inhale, lift up halfway. And then exhale, just fold forward. Exhaling out of your mouth or out of your nose. And just let yourself drop down here in ragdoll. Your arms can hang loose. Feel the crown of your head making its way down toward the mat. A soft bend in your knees. You can even gently sway from side to side. Inhale, lift yourself halfway, lengthening. Feel your core nice and strong. And then pushing into your hands, exhale, step your feet to the back of the mat and come back into downward facing dog. Ground your feet into the mat, your hands into the mat. Lift your tailbone up. Get some space in your body. Really note the lengthening in your side body here as your hips shift up and away from your armpits. Beginning to push a little bit more into your left foot. Gently lift your right leg up, bending your right leg and lifting your right knee up toward the ceiling. Keep a soft bend in your left knee and try to keep your shoulders parallel. So here the tendency is that the right shoulder, your whole chest starts to open up to the side. Keep your chest squared down. Look under your left armpit. You might see your foot, you might not. Either way, it's totally fine. Your foot's up there, I guarantee it. Inhale to lengthen, lift your right knee a little bit more. And then exhale, bringing your right leg folded underneath your chest. Create some space by pushing into your hands and gently place your right foot down or take a few steps with your right foot to get it up behind your right hand. Coming into low lunge, so left knee on the ground, right knee directly above your ankle. Inhale, lifting your hands up, activating your legs. So you're pulling your left knee forward against the mat. You can always put a cushion or something underneath if it's uncomfortable. Exhaling to rotate, opening your arms and twisting toward the right. So lifting through the crown of your head to get length, pulling in your belly button to get space, and then turning. You can slowly start, if you would like, to take a little bit of a step further. Bring your right fingertips to your back calf, your left calf, even if it's hard to tell, right and left here. Inhaling to lift your left hand up and back, and just feel into your left side body. Inhaling to come back up. Lengthen your left hand forward and place it below your shoulder on the mat. Twisting, lifting your right hand still up toward the ceiling, closing that space between your shoulder blades and pushing your heart forward. On your next exhale, gently bring your right hand down, and we're going to shift our hips back. Lift your right toes and continue to pull your right hand, both your hands back as your heart grows forward. Soft bend in your right knee, pulling your right hip back. Relax your jaw. Your next inhale, bend into your right leg. Lift your left knee off the mat this time. And again, twisting. So bringing your right hand up to the sky, pulling your left toes forward, dragging your right heel back, even though your foot doesn't actually move, pushing your heart forward, crown of your head making its way toward the top of your mat. And then exhaling, lengthen your right arm forward and bring your right hand to the inside of your right foot as you rotate on to your left heel. Now when you do this, your right foot can shift so it's at 45 degrees. And keep a soft bend in your left leg here. So toes coming up toward the ceiling. You can stay propped up on your hands or begin to lift your left hand up to the sky. Your heel can be off the mat or on the mat, whatever is working for you right now. Really feeling this lengthening in your inner thighs, getting into your hips. And then exhale, coming back down with your hands, walking your hands forward, lifting your hips up. So it's like you're going to go into high lunge, except we're going to shift our left foot forward just a little bit and let it drop down. So 45-degree angle with our left foot, heel is on the ground. Start to lengthen our right leg, lengthening our spine, bring our hands to our hips and coming up to standing. Again, preparing our hands. So we're going to choose to either have our fists together, our elbows, hands to elbows, or prayer behind back. This is going to be a nice chest opening, and the position of your hands depends on what's accessible to you right now in this moment. Pull your shoulders back, pushing your heart forward. Feel like there's a hook on your heart pulling it up, up, up toward the ceiling as you look up. And then exhale as you begin to lengthen yourself forward. Really important to keep a soft bend in your legs. Pull your right hip back, pull your belly button in. If your hands are in prayer, keep pushing your palms together, and regardless of the hand position, continue to pull your shoulders closer together behind you. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, begin to open up your arms like a cactus, and lifting your heel, you're gonna lift your left leg behind you, extending your arms out to open into airplane. Keep pulling your heart forward. So think of the length between your heart and your left heel. Right leg stays bent. Feel a little bit the shaking and recalibrating that has to do to keep you up. Slowly, slowly, with your right knee slightly bent, inhale, coming forward, left leg bent in front of you. And then exhale, crossing your left leg over your right and bringing left arm under your right. So you can take eagle arms here. I didn't say it on the other side, but you can certainly choose to bring your hands to your shoulders. That's always an option here. And try to push your elbows away from you in front of you. You're pushing your palms together. They're not completely on top of each other. They're not aligned, but pushing your hands into each other. Stay with it, breathe, you're doing wonderful. And then inhaling, opening everything up, lifting your left knee up in front of you, hands to the sky. And exhale, left foot down. Inhale, lifting onto your toes and just getting some space as you ground your toes down, lift your fingers up. And then exhale, heels come down, pushing your bum back, opening your arms like a cactus first, and then continuing that movement, opening your arms in a T and diving yourself down. Trying to really feel every muscle that it takes to get yourself down slowly. Inhale, lift yourself halfway, pushing your head forward, your bum back. And then exhale, just like before, we're gonna open up our feet, the distance of the mat, the width of the mat, toes out, heels in, and squat down. Again, you can leave your heels up, but this time we're going to do a less active pose and just walk our hands forward, let your head drop. Loosening up into the back, let your bum be heavy. Relax your face. And then begin to walk your hands back, bring them beside you, behind you, come down into a seated position, feet in front of you, hands below your knees. Inhale, let your legs drop toward the side as you pull your heart forward and up to get some space, lifting your heart. And then exhale, rounding your spine, looking toward your belly button and just feeling that opening in your upper back. From here, keep your hands where they are and just roll or flop your way onto your back with your knees bent in toward your chest. Squeezing your knees in. Take a nice deep inhale into your nose. And exhale everything out. Place your feet to the mat. And your feet are parallel. Legs are bent. You're going to walk your heels as close to your bottom as they can get. Keep your arms extended by your side with the palms facing down. Now we're going to go into a modified bridge, and you can kind of start already to walk your shoulders below you, just a little bit. And from here, pushing into your palms, push into the back of your head, so you shouldn't feel any weight or action in your neck here, just in the back of your head. Pushing into your feet, your hands, your shoulders, lift your pelvis up. Now, the more you start to push your feet away from you toward the bottom of the mat, the more you're going to feel this shift of your chest toward your chin. And it gets to be a little bit more difficult to breathe here in the sense that it's less fluid. So just try your best. If at any point it's blocking your breath, obviously come down. Not breathing is not good. And then gently roll yourself down. One vertebra at a time. And once your spine is entirely placed again on the mat, just take a pause. And then we're going to go again. Inhaling to start to shift your shoulders below you, activate hands, feet, back of head and shoulders. Exhaling, relaxing your face and jaw. Inhale, start to lift your pelvis. If you would like, you can actually interlace your fingers below your bum and push your interlaced hands into the mat. Give you a little bit more leverage. You can stay here or heel toe your left foot to the center and then lift your right knee up to the sky. Keep your right knee bent. Align your right knee over your right hip. And if you'd like, you can start to straighten your right leg, pointing your toes up to the sky. One more breath. Exhale, folding your right leg, place your right foot where your left foot is, and we'll go to the other side. Inhaling, lifting left knee, align it above your left hip, and then exhale, start to extend your left leg up. Really pushing strongly into your right foot. Gently place left foot down, unlace, undo your hands, and then roll yourself down onto your back. And just breathe here for a minute. Allow your eyes to close. Open your arms like a cactus. With your feet the width of the mat, keeping them placed on the mat, just let your legs gently drop over to the right. Nothing special. Just starting to get a little bit more quiet and to feel any tension that has bubbled up start to dissipate. Inhale back to the center, and then exhale over to the left. Inhale, return to center. And from here, exhale, start to shift your legs, your feet away from you, lengthening out your legs. Take up a lot of space, so open up your legs as much as you want. Open up your arms. Lift up your head and even try to scoot it a little bit further up toward the top of your mat. So feeling your spine has lots of room. Take a nice deep inhale here. And exhale to let everything out. And to let everything go. Allow yourself to settle down into Shavasana. You don't need to move anything, activate anything, think about anything. Just let yourself be. Just let yourself hang out here. We don't have many opportunities to just be without having something actively going on. So really allow yourself to soak this up. The next inhale, breathe in a little bit more air. Feel that expansion in your chest, your ribs. And exhale out. Start to bring legs together, arms by your ears. Stretch the entire length of your body. Inhaling into it, and then exhaling everything out. Bending your legs, rolling onto your side. And just noting what kind of sensations you have in your body. Noting if you've been able to let go of tension or resistance. And noting even if some still might be there. That's completely okay. The important thing is our awareness of what we have happening inside of us. Softly begin to make your way back up to seated position. And bring a smile onto your face to close the practice. One last inhale into our nose. And exhale, try to release something that you don't need. Thank you, thank you, thank you for practicing with me today. I hope that you have a little bit more space in your body, a little bit more space in your heart, and I hope that you have an absolutely beautiful rest of your day. Thank you. See you next time.